Welcome. This lesson is on countable and uncountable nouns. What is a noun? A noun is a thing, a place, or a person. An example of a noun is a dog, a cat, a spider, tree, home, house, and supermarket. They are the subject of a sentence. In English, there are two types of nouns: countable and uncountable nouns. Those words which are countable nouns have a pluralized version, and we can count them. An example is cat. We can count cats. I have a cat, but if I have more than one, I would say I have cats. The pluralized version of cat there is cats. Other examples of countable nouns are leaf and book. The pluralized versions in these examples all use an S at the end of their word. Uncountable nouns, however, are different. These are nouns that we cannot count and therefore do not have a pluralized version. An example of this is milk, water, sugar, information, and advice. It's very difficult to count milk. Equally, you cannot count information or advice. In some languages, it is possible to count information and advice, but in English, these words are uncountable. The only way to know which words are countable and uncountable in English is to study. By using the fluentcenter.com, you can test yourself on some of those words which are countable and uncountable in English. When we want to use an uncountable noun in a sentence in English, we tend to use words like some and a lot with them. For example, I gave her some advice. If you want to say you gave her more than some, maybe you told her to do 3 things, you might say I gave her a lot of advice, or I gave her plenty of advice. Drinks tend to be uncountable nouns. I would use I drank some milk. I could also say I drank a glass of milk. Using the noun glass, I can turn an uncountable noun into a countable noun. He has drunk a lot of milk. He has drunk 3 glasses of milk. All uncountable nouns can be turned into countable nouns with another noun. Here are some examples of uncountable nouns: milk, bread, advice, wine, tea, rice, and gold. Each of these can be turned into a countable noun with another noun. In the first example, a glass of milk, a loaf of bread, 2 bits of advice, 3 bottles of wine, 4 cups of tea, 5 bags of rice, and 6 bars of gold. The best way to know which nouns to use with which uncountable nouns is to study. How much do you think you've learnt about countable and uncountable nouns? It's time to now test yourself